Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Q Show here. Now then, whenever we last left off, Deku, he had just found that Tohru was killed by the Nomu, or a Nomu. Now, afterwards, he had just spent his time butchering and taking out every villain he can. However, there was a bit of exceptions. Since I want to say Dobby, Deku, he left him alive. So he will play a part in the story sometime later. Possibly. Along with, I want to say, Toga probably transforming into a Chaco, hearing the rev of the engine, thinking it can at least buy her time to somewhat stay camouflaged. I also don't believe Twice was there, so he is still alive. Now then, with that being said, let's continue. Deku, he is still holding Tohru. Everyone being sad and actually mourning her death. As they watch as Deku, his eyes would light with flames. As he sets her down carefully, walking over to the bike and revving up the engine. As it transforms, but he does not. The only thing that does is part of his hands. As he takes off, they would watch as a portal opens up directly in front of him as he leaves, being a bit confused. Now, when that happened, Deku, he immediately enters Mephisto's realm. As soon as he gets through there and comes to his throne, he transforms and busts down the door. Or throne room. He would bust down the door, yelling at Mephisto that he did not honor their deal. What are you talking about, writer? Of course I honored your deal. I didn't kill her. No one did. That thing did. You and I both know that's a lie. Well, writer, I am not lying to you. Even then, where is your proof? That thing was a mindless beast. She got caught up in the wrong action. As he can tell, Mephisto is lying through that grin. Deku would just say that he wants him to make that third deal. What exactly is your plan? Well, writer, I don't have a plan. I just need you to do a series of tasks for me. Nothing the next couple eons won't take. Eons? I'm not being your little, I'm not being on a leash for eons just to get her soul back. Oh no, you just need to do these tasks for me, then I'll gladly give her soul back. But you just need to find someone. Find information. This man, he is a bit crazy. His soul has been wandering around for quite some time. It's more, he has nothing left. He is a very dangerous demon. I can find him. Exactly what do you want? Well, first, travel to the deepest pits. The deepest, darkest, and the outer ones. As Deku, he would just nod his head and walk away. As we will begin, Deku, he begins to ride through hell. People, not people, demons, would see the rider, as most of them immediately get out of his way and try to stay away from him. Deku, he would just be watching as he doesn't care. He is just here for Tohru's soul, so he just needs to get this job done, then he can just get out of here. That's plain and simple. Now, he would begin as, let us cut, roughly around 100 to 300 years later. Deku, he is still in hell. He has gotten information, but he has also gotten false information. Not sure what to believe, not sure what to even do. He is still angry, as he is torturing a demon right now, and getting the information he wants. Now then, This demon would just say that they only know him by name. But it's probably not even right. They just call it a nickname. What is his nickname? Exactly. Tell me. The Butcher. He's called the Butcher. Ah, thank you. Wait, so you're gonna let me live then, right? As Deku decapitates him, saying he never said that. Walking to his bike and hopping on. He begins to head towards the outer lands. As hell, the fire is a little died down. Or at least as much as you can get here. So, he is driving around, going from town to town and even on the in-between. The in-between being where the hollows and phantoms of humans used to lie. Or at least do. Most demons or humans here, they would drive themselves insane, finding that they would just wander. Or at least, that's what they should do. They would wander until they're a husk. Then the husk would wander until they're skin and bone. Then after that, they would wander till they're nothing but a pile that's swept away in the wind. Now then, Deku, he's just wondering how long it's been on Earth. He's heard about how time passes here, and he doesn't really pay attention. He's stopped at this point, asking the writer their next point of interest. As he drives on the long in between for what feels like days, or even years, finding nothing in between there. So it at least lives up to the name. Now then, Deku, he is just driving as he sees a blonde figure up in the distance. He would drive up to it as he sees muscular. He got stuck here, so it at least makes up for his sins on Earth. As Muscular would turn to him looking hollowed and exhausted, skin and flesh on him being picked away. As he just runs over to Deku, asking him, "Please, please, please. Living here is bad. Listen, I don't really want to do anything like that back on Earth. Please just get me out of here." That's not up to me. I'm just the law around here. You have to take that up with management. As Deku would just shove Muscular backwards into the ground. Muscular would fall as he tries to use his quirk. His arms do grow, but it doesn't really work for him here. Humans have no power. Deku, he is the absolute law here in this land. Mephisto giving him full control over whatever he wants and desires. If he wants something done, he has to do it himself. Now, Deku, he would finally find this demon, as he gets the information he needs and continues throughout an entire line, hunting down more and more and more throughout the rest of the Outer Lands. As he gets the information, piecing it together piece by piece. After about 2,000 years, him and the writer have gotten along. They talk because being silent for that long isn't really something you can just do. Now, Deku's been trying to cope with everything. He does see visions in the in-between, but as long as he stays as the writer, he'll be fine. So, exactly what do they need to do now, Mephisto? Well, kid, her soul is stuck in limbo. So exactly where are you gonna go to find her? Limbo's a big place. You will not make it there in time. What do you mean? Well, a soul wandering for this long. Crazy. How long have you been here? How long have you been here to entertain and allow me to watch you strike fear into everyone. I've been making bets with elite demons, seeing how long it takes you to complete a task. And my money's always been correct. So, you've passed my test. Now then, this one is part of a final one. I'm interested to see it. Now, Deku would hear that, as he is ready. He would just say that this will be easy then. Now, Deku, he would just do one simple thing. Hopping onto his bike, he would begin to ride, as he goes directly for limbo. It is below, so he starts to make his way towards the deepest pits, going lower and lower and lower, as he finds himself upside down. This place is trippy. It is where the darkest demons, they lie dormant. And it's even weirder, because it feels like hopping to a different place, as he goes lower and lower, thinking that this has got to be a limit. He would spend the next 200 years down, going deeper and deeper. He does stop sometimes to take a break, but even then, that doesn't last very long. As he would finally arrive, thinking that this cannot be right. It's just a door. So, what am I even doing here? As he would just shout for Mephisto! As a little demon would pop out of nowhere. You rang for Mephisto. Where exactly am I? Well, this is limbo. I don't see that. So, do I just walk through? Well, that would be the right term, or, well, way to do it. Alright, I'll play your little game. As Deku would just kick in the door, walking in. As soon as that happens, he finds himself different. He's in his human form. What? My hands. Well, kid, there's no time to get a need on that. You need to get back into my mode. Right. As Deku turns on the power. In doing so, the winds of sand and anything he can find, they're a bit weird. Deku turns up his heat around him, as the glass, or well, fire, he produces is turning the sand and anything he touches into glass. Deku creating a glass floor as he walks, so he will not get lost. Now, he begins to walk around. He sees humans here, he sees people, he sees demons. People who thought this was a way to escape, to get out of here, only to find themselves in a place worse than death. It's bad. This place shows you images you've seen before, your worst nightmares and fears, and even your own memories, over and over and over again. Every single sin you've committed. No matter how petty, how little, how big, or how small. You just are here to lament on one thing, as your brain and your soul slowly get eaten away. Not even being able to be reincarnated. Truly a fate worse than anything he's ever seen. Now, Deku, he's confused. He sees a lot of people here. He sees Ibara, Kendo, everyone else. This doesn't make sense. As while he's walking around, he gets shoulder checked by somebody. This person would just shuffle around as he sees that it's Bakugo. What the hell is Bakugo doing here? This thing would immediately just start walking forward as it basically just walks a path past Deku, continuing onward. That makes no sense. How is this even possible? Now, as that happens, they would continue. As Deku, he would finally get to where he needs to be, after 1 to 2 years. Now, as that happened, Deku, he would find that there is this light shuffling around, as he runs over and immediately grabs it. He has Tohru's soul, at least what he believes to be it. As he begins to talk, hello? Who is this? Where am I? Tohru, is that you? Midoriya? What happened? I'm scared. Don't worry, it's gonna be okay. Really? Who's there with you? No one, it's just me and Vengeance. What's going on? I can feel you, but I can't see you. It's going to be okay, Tohru. We'll get you back to your body. My body? What happened to me? What's going on? Well, it's a long story. But I need to make another deal. Now, as that happens, Deku, he would leave. Mephisto gladly opening up a portal to get Deku back to him. As that happens, Deku, he would be ready, talking with Mephisto, asking exactly what this third deal will pertain. To which Mephisto would gladly just say that it pertains a little battle. The highest bids against any odds. However, you're not going to like it. Exactly what won't I like about it? Well, you'll just have to see for yourself. You are going to have to fight with someone. Someone bad. Who they don't exist here. Exist here, what do you mean? Well, as Mephisto would open a portal saying that if he can win this battle, he will gladly return Tohru to her body. So, do you accept? Deal. But before, well, I won't kill them. Really? You can't just change a deal after making it. Well, you don't also have to go through with deals, do you? You can just find a way around them. To which Deku's eyes would somewhat narrow. Mephisto staring directly at him, somewhat wanting to smirk and laugh, but also be somewhat proud. Although he can tell that Mephisto is holding that all back. The kid's tricky. He's arrogant, so he at least does need to give him that. So he would just say that, he'll be honest, kid. I'll do it. As he would just hold out his hand, saying, pinky promise, how about that? Isn't that how those work on Earth? You know, I'll do it. But if you betray me, I'm taking that hand. Well, kid, a little too honest. As Deku walks through the portal. Now then. As that happens, Mephisto, he would just smile. As Deku, he falls out of the sky. He tries to get his bearings as he sees blue, ground, ocean, water. What? I'm back on Earth? As he would smash into the ground and stand up. He tries to figure out exactly where he is as he's nearby UA. What the hell? Mephisto, what am I doing here? This is Earth. Thought you wanted me to fight a demon. No, kid, I never said that. I said you're fighting someone. I never said they were from this Earth. This person is famous in a, well, neighboring place. I've made bets with their king, and he's long gone. However, he was a friend of mine. His money was good. His realm was nice, too. I'll have to take it. Anyways, what am I doing? Well, you're fighting someone named Doomslayer. He's been a bit arrogant. And well, he's got quite the reputation. Even met the big man himself. Blessed by an angel, too. Really, this'll be interesting. As Deku would walk into UA, he would just ask exactly if they're on Earth. Well, if this is Earth, then is this his Earth? To which Mephisto would just say, no, it's not. As Deku walks around, asking exactly where is he supposed to go then. Well, I believe you should see it. As Deku looks around, watching as he hears a loud thud. And there is a sound. He would just see as in the distance he sees a red figure standing out from being thrown in a tree. Well, there's someone standing there, in armor. Well, somewhat in armor. He has some of it taken off. But he can at least somewhat make out the face. Is that me? Well, yes, kid. That's just the thing. This is what I find a bit more interesting about you. In any reality I've seen, you seem to be better. Different. Here your dad's a scientist. Opened a portal, bam! Almost caused the apocalypse. Now, your task is to fight him. As Deku would hear him say, you really need to start improving. We'll start training again. As this version of Deku would leave. He would watch as this version of him goes away and actually does see Ibarra. He watches as this green-haired girl walks out of the dorm room and kisses himself, but that's what he finds strange. Wait, what? Yeah, anyways, grab his attention. I know a good way to do that. As Deku calls his bike. Let us switch over to Doomslayer. Ibarra has just walked out, and he's given her a kiss while hugging her. As he hears fire, or at least what sounds like an explosion. As he would turn his head, seeing a figure on a bike. As it revs the engine and immediately comes swinging by, throwing a train outwards as it grabs onto Deku. This version of Deku, however, he holds his hand upwards, grabbing the chain and actually wrapping it around his arm. He feels the heat on it as he actually does hold his ground, actually bracing his feet against the ground and grabbing at his left arm as he pulls at the chain. Ghost Rider Deku getting thrown off and immediately swung up into the air as he goes smashing downwards. Now, as soon as that happens, this is where everyone in Class 1A would come running outside, as they would see this figure. He would just say that this doesn't involve them. Leave them out of this. This is between me and the Doomslayer. What are you? I'm the Ghost Rider. Now listen, on my Earth, I am a bit of a legend, as you can say. Your Earth? Exactly where are you from? Because it seemed like you're from hell. Well, that's just it. Deal with the devil. Not fun. I killed the devil. No, you didn't. You killed your devil, not mine. He's a pain in my ass. Do you know what it's like being alive for this long? No human should be alive for this long. You're human? Not from what I can tell. Who are you? As they would watch Deku turn back to normal, Ghost Rider immediately just dropping to his knees, saying that he has to do this. I'm sorry, but I'll tell you one thing. As Deku lifts his head up, saying that he doesn't have to kill him. As he turns back into the Ghost Rider. This version of Deku immediately being in shock, as he does at least have his chest piece on. As he begins to rush forward, saying that they don't have to fight this way. As they would immediately clash and throw punches at each other. All Might being nearby, he would just hear this, as he immediately starts running over to the dorms. Now, Deku would just say that, Doomslayer would say that they don't have to fight, as these two are actually powering each other, or at least fighting for dominance. I gotta say, you're stronger than Muscular. Really. 'Cause here, Muscular was a bit of a challenge. Although, it did end with me a bit, angry. Really, what happened here? Well, long story short, being soaked in blood isn't fun. Huh, that's funny. I took my Muscular and dragged him to hell. Interesting. So, what do you got planned? As this Deku would just throw out the pen and stare, saying that this shouldn't be lethal. As Ghost Rider Deku would immediately get thrown away. As Doomslayer Deku, he would just bring his hands up, rubbing his eyes. As he would look up, saying, was that supposed to do something? Huh, that's new. Usually that kills people. What are you talking about? That just pissed me off. Well, I'll always tell you one thing. I'm fighting for a soul. Whose? Tohru's. As they would be in shock. Who the hell is Tohru? She is Invisible Girl. Who? Is she not here? Are you serious? So, you lived a normal life with your mother. But what about your father? Well, he's here. Are you serious? Is my Earth the only fucked up one? As Deku goes on a bit of a tangent, fighting and actually taking blows and throwing them and receiving them against Doomslayer. These two would eventually get broken up by All Might arriving. Deku seeing him in his buff form, All Might immediately goes to restrain our Deku, as Ghost Rider would just throw out his chains and immediately wrap up All Might. All Might trying to fight against them. As Ghost Rider would just say that those are made of something special. I don't know exactly, but something alloy from hell. Had these for too long. As he would turn his attention back to Doomslayer, as he thoroughly gets socked across the face. Now then, Ghost Rider would just be sent flying as he gets back up. He would just say, as he puts his jaw back into place, got another one in ya? As Doomslayer would just run forward, sprouting wings from his back. This confuses Deku, as these two run forward, immediately clashing and actually throwing punches. Deku, he throws an uppercut, actually smashing into Doomslayer's jaw. Doomslayer throwing his hand downwards, smashing onto our Deku's skull. These two going back and forth over and over and over again, until Ibarra tries to break it up, and Bakugo does too. Ibarra and Bakugo, they are holding back Ghost Rider with Black Whip and Ibarra's vines, As Deku, he actually just turned, looking at these. He somewhat turns backwards for a second, looking a bit happy, before he looks sour and angry, as he swings his arm forwards and makes these two smash into each other, as he says to leave them out of this. Now then, this is where Doomslayer and Ghost Rider, these two would begin fighting once again, going for what seemed like days on end, as the authorities and other heroes, they would arrive saying that All Might, he is restrained in something. Whatever is going on, he can't get out, and these two, they're making sure to stay away from major population areas. As Nezu arrives, he would be watching the situation a bit confused, and well, he would just say that this is quite the predicament. Well, these two aren't being lethal with each other, I can see that. So, exactly what are they to do? Well, sir, I'm not really certain. Well, Aizawa, I'm not sure what we can do. That man seems to be covered in fire, and if he wanted to, he could easily scorch the entire students and take them down. I'm know that that boy is more than capable of taking this man down, but it seems like they may be evenly matched. It's quite interesting to see. I'm trying to run the numbers in my head, but if he can restrain All Might, then, well, we may be a bit in trouble. I understand, sir. Now, back over to Ghost Rider and Deku. These two are just throwing slugs back and forth as Deku, Ghost Rider, would grab our Deku by the face, or at least by the throat, as this one tries to grab and actually grab or dislocate Ghost Rider's arm. He would have actually been able to bring his leg up, kicking into him, pulling it out of socket. Or at least what should be a socket, as Ghost Rider would somewhat scream. He would immediately just start by smashing his hand and actually just taking the chance he has to smash into the armor that he has his body covered in. He would do so as, while he's smashing into it, he finds that this is different. Whatever that is, it actually was able to absorb the punch, so he needs to think about this. He would just say that, Ryder, do you think you could handle this? Really? You're giving me the floor. Yes. If I keep going like this, I'm going to drive myself mad. Please. Well, alright. But please remember, non-lethal. As Deku would take a break, his consciousness slipping into the background. As Ryder's demeanor would somewhat change. He was looking down while this happened, and Doomslayer was waiting for something. As the Gertrude would just look up and begin to fight, being a bit more aggressive, using more and more chains to actually try and wrap up and restrain this Deku, and actually being able to do so, as he begins to throw punches and actually throw slugs into whatever this armor is, breaking through it and actually cracking it, which shocks Deku. Even he's not able to do that, as this one begins just punching into his chest over and over and over again, smashing him across the face, breaking his jaw. As they begin to continue, the rider would just begin by breaking more and more of Deku's ribs, as he would just take a breather for a second. Now, the rider would just look down at his hands as he sees that some of that bone is actually cracked. So that stuff is tough. Interesting. Now, our Deku, or well, not our Deku, Doomslayer Deku would just say, why exactly are you doing this? Well, as Doomslayer's eyes would widen, this isn't the same guy. Who are you? I'm the thing giving him his power. I am the spirit of vengeance. This boy's been alive for quite some time. How long have you been alive? Well, I've been alive for quite some time too. I've been there, here and everywhere. Before, as Doomslayer would give his backstory, while slowly slipping himself out of these restraints. He would have been able to somewhat get one of his arms loose after popping out of his socket and out of place, as he's getting the other one free. He would explain that he was once in hell for a century, and afterwards he was there for more time. It was quite crazy. He was even there for what felt like 5 years, but it was only 2 weeks here. As he continues on and on and on, saying that he was once even in limbo. Really, because I was just there. Well, 200 years ago. As Doomslayer just looks up, confused. Wait, that's pretty long. How long has your version of me been alive? 3, well, 2,315 years. Doomslayer's eyes widening. He understands. So, this Tohru. You need to bring her back, correct? Yes, we do. How do you bring her back? Well, I'm supposed to defeat you. However, he explicitly stated in the rules not to kill you. So, well, what am I to do? Then beat the hell out of you. As he would just say, fine, he understands. As he would just put his hands up saying that he gives up. What? Well, trust me, if we're just here fighting each other, we'll be stuck in an eternal stalemate. Besides, I'm pretty sure you would outlast me. If you've been in hell for 2,300 years, as he would just begin by popping his neck and trying to put his jaw back into place, he would just say that then he clearly doesn't need to eat, or, well, sleep either. You haven't been getting exhausted, but I have actually been getting very exhausted. Interesting. So, exactly what do you mean? Well, the only way I see you beating me is outlasting me in a fight. On Earth. In hell, or my plane of hell, I guess. You would probably be stuck with me for a couple thousand years. Well then. Mephisto! As a portal would open, Deku, he would just get back in control. As whenever he does, he immediately looks up to see Doomslayer as he brings his hands up, saying that, hey, it's fine. I give up. You win. What? Mephisto getting angry. He would just say that that's not how this works. You never said how it works, Mephisto. So get over it. Now, as that happens, this is where Mephisto would honor his deal, bringing Tohru back to life, as her body over in Deku's world disappears from the ambulance in the morgue at the hospital. It disappears at the morgue at the hospital, confusing medical staff. Now then, she would immediately appear in front of Deku as she takes a deep breath and somewhat falls over onto the ground, being confused. Wait, that's Tohru? As Deku would do one thing. He would turn back to normal, immediately wrapping her into a hug, saying that he's so sorry. You should have been there. It shouldn't have gone like that. Well, that'll be fine. It's okay, Midoriya. Besides, it'll be okay. As she would bring him in for a kiss, Deku feeling her hands on his face, the warmth returning, as he would just say sorry to All Might, who is kind of in shock seeing another Midoriya. He would just point asking exactly what is going on to Doomslayer, as he would just say that this is new. Well, um, me and Kirishima were going to train, but then he sort of just popped up. Well then. Okay. Well, sorry about all this. As Ibarra walks up, seeing him, she'd be in shock as she looks back at her Deku, asking exactly what is going on. Well, apparently there's more of me? What? Well, actually, this is a different Earth. So, what do you mean? Well, we crossed over from our planet, that's weird to say, to yours. Okay, so exactly what do you mean? Well, I guess we're technically not supposed to be here, but we are. It's confusing. Do you guys have any food? I could really use some after 23, well, 2 decades or 2 millennia. As they would all walk inside. Everyone in class 1A would be shocked to find that this is Invisible Girl from the entrance exam. This is what she looks like. Well, they need to at least get a picture. As they would do so. As it's kind of confusing as Ghost Rider begins to explain his world to Doomslayer. Doomslayer explaining it to, well, Ghost Rider. As Deku would actually call home and ask his parents to come over to the UA dorms. There's a bit of a situation they need to know about. And bring Dad. As Hisashi would reluctantly get out of his work and come see this, as it was really fucking important, as Inko said. Hisashi would walk over as he would see Doomslayer Deku standing there next to a man with a flaming skull, asking exactly what is going on, as he would just say, what's better than one Midoriya? Well, I don't know, as the fire would disappear saying, 2 Midoriyas! These two being in immediate shock, asking exactly what is this? Well, Sasashi would run over saying, is this a clone? Is this a duplicate? Is this an evil doppelganger? Well, actually, no and yes. I mean, originally I was sent here to kill him, as Hasashi would immediately go, well, somewhat panic. Deku just bringing his hands up saying, but I was able to change that and at least fix it. You see, I'm from a different Earth, and I kinda crossed over to here. Anyways, as Deku, he would turn to Doomslayer, holding out his hand, saying, this was fun, but they have to go home. Now, this is where Doomslayer would just hold out his hand, saying that he'll see him then, or, well, have a good trip. Inko taking a photo of this, not even being able to believe it. Hasashi immediately taking notes, as he wants to ask questions, but Ghost Rider would just say that he kind of wore out his welcome, so they needed to leave. Deku immediately hopping onto the bike, as Tohru would do the same. She actually hops up in front of Deku, so she's basically sitting in his lap, as Deku and her would kiss. Deku revving up the engine and pulling out a chain. All Might would try to ask this version of Deku a question, as Deku would just turn looking at him, saying exactly what is it. Well, One for All's felt a bit weird. Do you know about that? Oh, yeah, I do actually. As Tohru would just hold up her hand, showing that she has his quirk. What the hell? Different Earth, different possibilities. As Deku would rev up the engine more, and his hand would turn into the Ghost Riders. As a portal would open up in front of them, as they would drive through. They are directly in front of UA. Now, as that happens, these two would get off the bike as Tohru looks down at her hands. A bit confused for a second. What's going on? As her skin goes from her normal color to turning a bit pale. Or at least, well, getting pale. Her being a bit confused about this. Deku being panicked for a second, he would just say that she'll be fine. It's, well, shit. And before he can even continue, that is whenever everyone would come running out, hearing his engine. Everyone is in Class 1A is in the dorms as they would just watch as Deku standing there with Tohru, as everyone runs over there, immediately tackling her to the ground. Deku's a bit confused, asking exactly what's going on. Well, what the fuck? As people just keep saying that it's glad that she's okay. What happened? They took you away the ambulance and why are you pale? As she would just say that that's a long story. Now then, before that can even continue, Deku, he would just say that they are not going to believe the adventures they just had. Well, I think I can believe it. As Tohru would just say. Now, afterwards, Deku, he would meet with Aizawa, as Aizawa would see his student back alive. He somewhat just faces away as he tells them that they need to go talk with Principal Nezu and All Might. He'll contact the authorities. As Aizawa, he somewhat is crying, not showing them his emotions, as he would just say that, under his breath, that it's okay. He understands this. Besides, they got lucky this time. Isn't that right, Monkey King? Or Sun Wukong? Now, they would go to see Nezu as Nezu's trying to figure out exactly how this is possible. Now, with that happening, Deku would try giving an explanation to this Nezu or his Nezu, as Nezu kinda wouldn't believe him for some parts of it, until he would just show up a picture saying that this is what's going on. Showing Ibar with short hair, a different version of Bakugo who's actually smiling, another him, and All Might in his buff form. Along with him having a piece of armor and, well, a weird thing on his chest. As he would just say that All Might does not wear that type of body armor. Well, not here he doesn't. What more proof do I need? As Tohru would just say that, how about this? As she just swipes Deku's phone and plays the video. As it basically shows a party in the dorms, as you can say. Everyone eating food, and this Deku and the other Deku trying to somewhat hang out and mess around. Along with a recording of the fight. Nezu's trying to process this, as he would just say that, another Earth. Well, that is interesting, as Nezu is actually getting very nervous. As he would just say that they need to go now, please. Now then, they would return to the dorms, as Deku would just say that this is still a bit weird. You're telling me. I feel like I'm still wearing that circus makeup. Well, hey. It'll be all fine, circus act. As Deku, or Tohru, he would immediately just shove him in the arm, saying that that's not the point. Now, this is where Deku, he would just pick her up as he begins to kiss her. These two heading over to the couch, as they basically lay there watching movies and eventually falling asleep for the night. Now then, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yes, I just crossed over 2 more Earths, connecting them together. Now then, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. And, well, yes, I did that to Tohru. I feel like calling her circus act and, well, wait, I don't think that's her actual name I gave her. I'll have to look back on that, but I feel like just calling her circus act wouldn't be good, just because of the name and, well, her hero outfit, so turning her skin a bit paler like a clown actually does work with this. And I know you guys still have not reacted to the death thing, so this is going to be editing well. You guys are probably very mad at me in the comments. I'm sorry. Now then, have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.